reception, how are you? I hope you're keeping happy and safe inside of your home. So today we are going to be learning all about bears' habitats. We talked about habitats when we were learning about tigers and where they lived. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I recommend you stop the video. Make sure you go and watch that one first, because that one explains to you all about habitats. This is a good opportunity to stop the video anyway, because I want you to think, what 3 things does a habitat need? So stop the video and have a think. A habitat needs what? What are the 3 things? Did you get them? Shelter, somewhere to keep you safe, and food and water to drink. But bears are quite unusual. Their habitats change throughout the year. So let's look and see where a bear lives most of the year. Bears live in different places all around the world. They mostly live in mountains and in forests because that is where they can receive the most shelter and collect the most food that they eat. Did you watch the video about a bear breaking into my living room? If you haven't, maybe you could stop the video now and go and have a look. Well, if you did, do you remember the bear standing right in the middle of my living room? I have a secret to tell you. Do you know that bears don't actually live in England? They used to live in England hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but at the moment they are extinct. Extinct in England, meaning they haven't lived in England in a long time, which means a bear wasn't actually in my living room.
So, bears live in dens, just like this one.
Den. Den. Bears build den, and their den changes every year.
In late June 2013, I found a bear den on Dumpling Mountain. Bears don't use dens at that time of the year, so I decided to investigate. It was high on the mountain, around 2,000 feet in elevation. The inside of the den wasn't as big as you would expect. The entrance tunnel went back about 5 to 6 feet, and the inside was just big enough for a bear to turn around in. The inside of the den was virtually barren, except for some roots and rocks that were contained within the soil. Bears in Katmai will dig a new den each year, and on hillsides that collect a lot of snow. These dens are a bear's home for half of the year and allow them to survive a long and cold winter without food.
They use these dens to hibernate.
Hibernate. Hibernate. A bear hibernates for 5 to 7 months. If you think back to when you first started reception, that was 8 months ago. So 1 month less would be 7, and that's how long a bear hibernates for. I don't know about you, but I think that's a very long time to have a sleep. Can you imagine sleeping for that long? Maybe you would enjoy it, or maybe you wouldn't. A bear will eat as much food as they can through the summer, which will mostly be salmon, a type of fish, which you'll learn about in our bear diet video. Bears will eat as much as they can until they become really big and fat. They'll then go and they'll build a den up in the mountains. The mountains, which will be covered in snow, is quite an unusual place to build a den. So the bears will dig into the side of the mountain, and it will make kind of like a little cave around the bear, just big enough for the bear to stay in, which is where they'll go and they'll stay for 5 to 7 months. I have a challenge for you after this video. How much can you find out about bears hibernating? That's a little thing for you to upload in Tapestry so that I can see. When a bear is not hibernating in its den, it will live usually in the forest. What's different about a bear to you, you will go back to your bed every evening and your bed might be in the same place. A bear every evening when it's not hibernating won't go back to its den, but will sleep in different places in the forest. It might sleep against trees or it might sleep against rocks, but this will usually change depending on where the bear is collecting its food. I find that really unusual that a bear wouldn't just go back to the same den. Instead, they make one den every year when they're hibernating and only go into that den when they are hibernating.
Here is a bear sleeping on a log.
We've talked today a lot about a bear's habitat. We have not talked a lot about your habitat. So I have a challenge for you. I want you to ask, can you please use your mum or your dad or any adults in your house phone, or maybe you have an iPad, and I want you to take pictures of everything in your habitat you need to survive. Meaning things you can't live without. I want you to upload those pictures onto Tapestry so that I can see the different things that you can't live without in your habitat. Remember, what gives you shelter, what keeps you safe, and what do you eat and drink? Maybe there's some other things that your habitat has that's maybe very special to you and might not be special to any other person, so maybe I don't need it, or any other creature, meaning that humans need it, but that bears definitely won't need. It was so lovely to see your face watching this video today. I hope you've worked very hard and I can't wait to see your Tapestry uploads. Make sure that you're trying really, really, really hard to be the best that you can be. And I hope to see you very soon. Make sure to keep an eye out for our next video all about bears. See you later, reception.